Welcome to The Discerning Mother, the podcast for Jesus-loving moms who want to tune out the noise and tune into God's design for motherhood. I'm Brigid, a board-certified women's health coach, holistic health practitioner, birth nerd, and homeschooling mom of 5. I help moms to heal their minds and bodies, trust their instincts, and embrace the beauty of the way God created them. Here we talk about birth, hormones, motherhood, faith, and anything else. Let's go. All right, and welcome back to the Discerning Mother podcast. If you are feeling more irritable this time of year, more tired, more short-fused with your kids, with your spouse, if your husband's tone of voice sends you kind of off the rails, or if you're more likely to either overfunction or just completely shut down, you need to listen to this, because the reason that this is happening is not because you are weak or you're quote bad at the holidays or that anything is wrong with you necessarily. It is because there's a deeper issue at play. And so December or the holidays really presses directly on the most unhealed places in a woman's soul, in her nervous system, and her identity. And no one has ever explained to you this in a way that makes sense. And that's what we're going to do today. And so most women around the holidays, they just assume that something is wrong with them because they don't feel peaceful. They don't feel joyful. They don't feel present. And they assume that if they were more prayerful or more just more disciplined, more organized, if they had the checklist, if they had the list of gifts that need to be bought or made, then the season would feel different. And that assumption is doing more damage than the craziness of the holidays ever could. And so I myself used to say these things, and I hear them all the time from women that I'm surrounded by, where it's every December, it's I cannot remember how many gifts I'm supposed to buy. I know that I need to do X, Y, Z, but it's I can't even make myself do it. My kitchen is a disaster and I want it clean, but I just can't make myself. I can't do it. I'm snapping at my kids. I hate it. I just want this all to be over. I don't even know what I need. I'm just so exhausted. And those are things that I hear all the time. And these are women who love Jesus. They are women who want to be good mothers. They are women who are doing far more behind the scenes than anybody sees. They are not lazy. They're not like these dramatic women who put their problems on other people. They are just overloaded in a way that goes far deeper than a full calendar. Okay. So again, you can have a full calendar and not start to feel like you're spiraling. And that's what we're going to talk about, because what December really does is it removes the margin your nervous system has been relying on all year long. Okay. So basically, if you think about it like your capacity calculator, if you think about this, you have a capacity of just say 10. Okay. I'm just making this up. So your capacity is a 10. And most of the time, if you are an intentional, ambitious woman, you're probably functioning at a 6, 7, 8. Okay. Meaning that you are not fully at capacity yet. You're getting close, but you're not quite there yet. What December does is it kicks it up a notch, and it makes you go from that 6, 7, 8 to a 12. And all of a sudden you're I don't have capacity for all this. I can't take care of this. And it's not just the full calendar. Again, it's not the full calendar that's doing that. It is removing that margin of that 8, 9 or 9, 10 that you had all year long. Okay. And that's because the routines are shifting. Your schedule is probably crazy. Your sleep is later. The sugar and the alcohol kind of creeps in. There's social demands that are just never ending. And there's these expectations, both spoken and unspoken, that pile up. And then suddenly the body that's been holding everything together quietly is I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And this can show up in physical symptoms. This can show up as snapping at your kids. This can show up as all you want to do is sleep. All you want to do is eat. All you want to do is drink wine, whatever it is. But again, your body does not experience these holidays as a special time of year. It experiences them as intense. There's more noise. There's more people. There's more decision making. There's more emotional output that needs to be done. There's less recovery time. And when a woman has spent years, and sometimes honestly decades, living in this state of quiet self-abandonment, and you know what I'm talking about, her system cannot rise to that extra capacity that is required. And that's okay. But that's why you feel edgy. That's why you are where's my patience? I'm yelling at everybody. And why you feel disconnected from joy. You don't even remember the last time you laughed when everything else looks beautiful on the outside. You're taking your kids sledding. You're making the Christmas cookies. You're doing all the beautiful things, but you're just this, none of this is fun. I'm not enjoying any of this. And again, it's not that anything is wrong with you. It's just your body's telling you that you are maxed out. Okay. And so I want to talk about Jesus for a minute. because everything goes back to him. God did not enter the world in chaos. He entered the world in obscurity, really, and in a body that would need to be fed, held, and protected. And so the incarnation is not a lesson in pushing harder, although we can want it to be. It's a revelation of how God works through limitation. So Jesus did not bypass his physical symptoms. He did not bypass his own nervous system. He took those messages and he used them. Right? So like there are plenty of times in the Bible when we can see that he slept, he withdrew, he literally left, right? He slept through storms, he cried, he noticed when he felt depleted, and he did not heal from a place of frenzy. So when a woman believes that she must override her body in order to be like holy or faithful, she is truly not becoming more Christ-like. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. What she's doing is she's actually moving further from the pattern that God wants for her, okay? And so peace is the fruit of being ordered. And order begins in the body and with your intentions. Okay. So let's think about Mary, especially around Christmas time now. And not like this like beautifully sanitized version sometimes, but like the actual version of like a real woman whose entire life was interrupted by God. She did not respond to this like major, hey Mary, will you have Jesus? Like the son of my son, right? Like she did not respond with this like, oh, how am I going to do that? What do I need to do? Like, do I need to get a different house? Like, how do I need to get a job? Like, do I need to do that? X, Y, Z? No, like she didn't ask how to manage it all. All she did was she stayed present. She just allowed God to move at human speed that made sense to her. And so Mary is not necessarily the model of productivity. She is the model of regulation. And that matters for women who feel like they're like barely holding themselves together by the end of Christmas, right? And so most women this season are trying to basically like control things, more lists, more checklists, more rules, more pressure to do things right, more laundry, more dishes, more all the things, right? But you cannot organize your way into peace, and you cannot discipline your nervous system into feeling safe. And so your system is dysregulated. And so everything is feeling harder. Your motherhood feels harder. Marriage feels harder. Being in a relationship with God feels harder. And it's not because God has left or like things are bad. It's just because like your capacity is completely maxed out and probably overdrawn. And so what changes things is not doing less for 1 week and then like returning to the same patterns. That's what a lot of women do, where they're like, I'm exhausted. I need a day or two to just like chill, watch Netflix, scroll on my phone, and then I'll be good to go, right? And this is zero judgment. Like I'm obviously there sometimes too. But what changes is learning how to live from a place of internal order. And so yes, like watching Netflix and scrolling on your phone isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you're relying on that in order to regulate yourself, that's where the dysregulation actually gets stronger in your body. And so most women, though, have never been taught to do this, to be present, to be patient, have clarity, and to make joy a priority in their life. And so that is what you need to do right now. If you're like totally maxed out with the holidays already, then you need to really sit in that presence. You need to be where your feet are, which is so hard sometimes, but also to laugh, to feel happy, to feel joyful, to play a game, like to not worry if you have the perfect gifts. That's not what people really are going to remember anyways. I couldn't tell you what a gift looked like or even was given. I can remember some gifts because they were like handmade, but more often than not, I don't remember them. And that's okay. Like people want your presence. They want you as the gift, not necessarily things. Not that things are bad, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. And so this isn't like, let's wait January 1st, things are going to change. Like, no, it has to change now. Okay. And so right now, my one-on-one calendar is full. Like I don't have any more spots for one-on-one, but I do know that a lot of you listening are entering the holidays thinking like that you're white knuckling through another season and just like hoping that things will magically change. And so I would love to invite you into Restored by Grace, the collective. This is the group where women learn how to restore their nervous systems, work through that trauma, especially around the holidays, reconnect with their bodies without fear, and live in a way that is really embodied and sustainable. Okay, so it is clarity, it's support, it's guidance, it's super powerful. And the doors are open now for the collective. And before the holidays and before January 1st, you definitely want to jump in because January 1st prices are increasing. And so if this episode felt like it was speaking to you, like you can follow along on social media, reach out, join the collective, get support now, not someday after like January 1st, but now, because you do not need to become somebody else. You just need to return to yourself in the capacity that God gave you. And God's already there waiting. Again, he extended the grace, so now it's up to you to just do the work. All right, I will see you next time.